So, 3 new iPhones and a watch. This took 2 hours for Tim Cook to say. Also, iOS 12 is out, so all your aunts and stupid cousins will be calling you, asking why they can't emoji like Tim Cook did on their iPhone 5C. Tonight, on the new and improved, I think, Mac to the Future livecast. Come on. There we go. And hello, everybody. It is Mac to the Future Go livecast. Hopefully, will be a better show than last week, which was just an amazing mess. Would you agree with that, Mr. Sklar?
I'm nodding my head. Hi. Last week was
It was not good.
I got to listen to you curse often, which was good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that. But other than that, I got back to watching TV. So
I wasn't happy. I was really...
no. From what I could tell, but this looks better. I could see me. I could see you.
Yeah, I've got. I have all kinds of things going on. And as you can see, we have our split screen. It's working the way it's supposed to. We have our microphones. They're working the way that they're supposed to. We have our My Mac and Mac to the Future logos working the way that they're supposed to. I swear to God, I am waiting for the other shoe to drop and for something really, really bad to happen. But before that happens, we are going to try to get through. We've got a lot of stuff. Now, obviously, you and I, we didn't talk about not just the release of iOS 12 and tvOS 12 and watchOS 4, but also the stuff that was announced at the keynote not that long ago.
I was busting at the seams trying to talk about it. I'm like, there's stuff we could talk about, and
we can't talk about it.
So. No, but now we can.
We can. And it was bad. It was so bad last week. I tried.
What? The show or the announcement?
The show.
Or both.
The show was really bad. No, the announcements, other than the fact that I think everybody knew well in advance over, what was going to happen. Yeah, there wasn't much in the way of surprises. Actually, that's not the one I want. So let's get rid of that. There we go. Okay, real quick, let's talk about some of these stories, and then we'll get into the stuff that's related to the new stuff. Doesn't that make sense? So,
sounds like a plan.
More apps found transmitting data. This is from Laptop Magazine. Trend Micro says, "Oops, I did it again." After a bunch of programs associated with them were discovered sending data back to, they deny it's China. Everybody else says it's China, but they deny that it's China. The apps are or were, because Apple has removed them all from the App Store, Dr. Cleaner, Dr. Cleaner Pro, because, why get just regular Dr. Cleaner? Dr. Antivirus, Dr. Unarchiver, Dr. Battery, and I'm kind of seeing a theme here, and Duplicate, lots of doctors, and Duplicate Finder. These were all applications from Trend Micro that apparently was sending information to someplace, but not China.
So I had one of these apps on my phone, Dr. Cleaner on my phone, and I only had it. It's free.
Or is it?
Well, yeah. My soul doesn't count, but it was good. I mean, it's so I have my entire iCloud photo library on my phone because I have a 256 gig phone,
and you can,
and I can. And the Dr. Cleaner actually has a photo duplicate detector.
Right.
Yeah. and it actually works. I mean, I did a couple test runs, and it works pretty well. And then it syncs up with the iCloud, and it worked. So it actually worked better than a lot of the desktop versions of it, because finding duplicate photos is tough for any program because so many pictures look close to each other. There's algorithms and
Yeah.
things that but it did pretty good. But yeah, after news I took it off and said whatever. So I mean, it's I don't know. I don't know what data they're sending. It sounds like just browsing history. Like, it doesn't bother me. I don't like it, but I'm not worried about it. To be honest with you.
All right.
I mean, it's just a weird thing to send over. Like, what are you going to do with that?
Well, I think that the big story was that these were all apps that were in the Mac App Store or iOS App Store, and for all of Apple's calls of we're looking out for your data and all the rest of that, these kind of slipped through the cracks and used some kind of crack in the code in order to send data or capture data that Apple's users may or may not have cared about whether or not they got transmitted someplace else.
That happened.
So, but they're all gone now. They've all been removed.
They all went over to Android. So fair.
Yeah.
And I think every app does that on Android anyway. So
yeah, it's like it's okay. It's
the opposite. Yeah, no, we'll take you. You want to come over to our app store? We'll take
as long as everyone's getting the data, no one's getting the data. That's how that works. Okay.
So interesting. Yes.
So moving on. Actually, I'm not sure how much relevant this is going to be. macOS Mojave to be released September 24th. So that's in about 5 days. That's what, next Monday?
Monday. Yep, Monday.
Do you think there'll be any new Macs released before then? Nothing's been announced.
I would say 100% no.
Okay.
I would say 99% no. I can't imagine that would happen. I think the new Macs will be announced obviously after that, but probably not till October, which is normally when they do it. It's pretty much done. The Gold Master's out, so I mean, it's done for the most part. But yeah, October and who knows? I don't think there's going to be any MacBooks Pros because those just were
those
changed.
are just updated. Well, what hasn't been updated? And we know that there won't be a Mac Pro until next year at the earliest, which pretty much just leaves because the iMacs were relatively recently updated. So that pretty much just leaves the Mac Mini or the iMac Pro.
Well, there's the MacBook, the 12-inch.
Yeah.
Those will get updated.
And I think the MacBook. Do you think the MacBook Air is a dead product?
The rumor is they're coming out with. So the rumors I think are way off, but the rumor is there's going to be a MacBook Air kind of replacement that's going to have, not going to have the Touch Bar, but it's going to have the Touch ID and a Retina screen. But to me, it just sounds like what they're going to have is a 12.
Why would they have a Touch ID on a Mac when they've eliminated it from all the phones?
Because MacBooks don't have Face ID yet, and
not yet. They all have cameras.
Yeah, I mean they there's no word of them putting Face ID on the Mac, as far as I know.
Or at least, but that would have to be an OS feature anyway.
Yeah. I mean, Windows has it. There's Windows Hello on my little Surface Go, and it works. Yeah, it works.
See, my lip is curling every time you say that.
I like it. It's cute.
Yeah, because that's what I wanted. A computing experience is cute.
Oh, I totally want cute. So yeah, there's gonna be new MacBooks. There's gonna be. My guess is that Air rumor is going to be like the 12-inch MacBook with I don't know, with the Touch ID.
Well, do you think that they'll eliminate one or the other, either the MacBook or the MacBook Air, as far as and I mean and by that I mean, not actual physical products, because these are all products that change over time anyway. But at least as far as marketing goes, that there won't be either a plain MacBook or a MacBook Air when the new ones are released.
I think there's not going to be a MacBook Air anymore. I think it's going to be a MacBook line, and the MacBook Air is going to be
replaced. That's the low end.
The MacBook.
Yeah, that's the low end laptop.
Well,
as compared to the Pros.
You could get a more expensive MacBook than the most expensive MacBook is more expensive than the cheapest MacBook Pro. So low end doesn't mean anything there. So it depends how you get it. It's a 12-inch one, and it's using sort of the mobile type of processors. And it's a 12-inch. So every year they keep saying they're going to get those faster, and that's what they keep trying to do. So the Air should go away, and they're going to have a MacBook line and a MacBook Pro line.
Okay.
And the MacBooks will get refreshed on the laptop line. And that's probably going to be all of it on the what?
We got some good comments.
Now look at the other thing.
Jeff, how does he say his last name? It's Zdrentan.
Oh, that guy. Zdrentan.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, well, him. Hi, Jeff. He says hello. John Kreisler, 99.44. That's oddly specific. Chance of no new Macs before Mojave. He also says the iMacBook and the iBook TV. That's what I was laughing about. I thought that was
iBook TV.
Yeah, the iBook TV, and it's going to be an all glass frame.
Yes.
So you put that in your bag and get on a plane, and you've got shards when you get to the other end.
They're sharp. You can buy it for your sharp TV.
Ooh, they're so sharp. Okay.
Yeah. So that. But what do you think on the desktop side? Let's go there.
Okay, desktop side. I wonder if they're going to bother to update the iMac Pro. I think the iMac Pro was a kind of a stopgap while they were waiting to finish whatever design they're going to do for the new Mac Pro. I think that Apple, and who knows, I could very, very well be wrong, that Apple realizes that, so that you don't have the Mac to the Future logo on your head. Yeah, can you just pick it up? Wait, hold on. Here we go. I can't move it. It's just on here so tight.
Can you make it swoosh away when I do that? Wait.
Let's see. Can I? Well, no, because then it'll mess it up for everything else. So, well, hold on. Let me see what I can do here.
No. I'll play. Don't worry about it. Whoosh. Oh, that was awesome.
Except now I don't know if I can bring it back. There it is. Okay. Whew. All right. I'm not going to do that again. It scared me.
iMac Pro. I don't know. You might be right.
I think that the Mac Mini is going to be the new stopgap between Pro and consumer levels, because it can really fit kind of, in my mind, if they do this the way I think they're going to, and there's no guarantee that they will, obviously, that the Mac Mini could very well end up being the only desktop in Apple's line, because with Thunderbird,
Thunderbirds unite.
Yeah, with Thunderbolt, with Thunderbolt 3.
I like Transformers a little better. Go ahead.
Go, Joe.
Go Thunderbirds.
Yeah, because knowing is half the battle. With Thunderbolt 3, you don't need to have lots of PCIe slots. You don't need to have a whole lot of internal storage. You don't need to have all the stuff that we associate a Pro machine with, because you can offload all of that into a card cage that has all that stuff, and the only thing you have on your desk is a monitor, maybe 2 monitors, maybe even 3 monitors, keyboard, mouse, and this little box that's about this big that has Thunderbolt 3. Everything else goes off. Now they tried to do this with the 2013 Mac Pro, but the problem was nobody really supported the way that Apple was saying that they wanted everything to be kind of off the machine. Whereas Thunderbolt 3, at least so far, and it's what they should have done with the 2013 Mac Pro, Thunderbolt 3 has much more support as a standard than whatever it was that they were coming off of with the 2013 Mac Pro. So why,
Yeah.
and if you've got a Mac Mini and it's just this little box on your desk and everything that you want, I mean, everything that you want, extra storage, better graphics, all of that is in a box that's, 3 to 6 feet away without all the noise, without all the heat, then yeah, I mean, why bother with a great big box that you can take the side? And I had 3 different Mac Pros, 3 different cheese grater Mac Pros. Loved every single one of them. As a matter of fact, one of them is still in use. My son Peter has it. Great machine. But they're huge, they're heavy, and in a case where you have Thunderbolt 3 with the kind of bandwidth that is capable of having going in and going out, why bother to keep such a huge behemoth under your desk, on your desk, wherever you wanted to put something like that?
Yeah. No, I made a table out of them a few times.
Yeah.
Um, the problem I think with that is there's going to be there would have to be a very wide range of configurations of that one magic box, because if they're
No,
still
they
trying,
wouldn't. That's the point. You would have
well, there's still
you would have
processors and memory.
well, sure.
Well,
But
yeah.
you would have a Mac Mini, okay, just like the 2014 Mac Mini that we have. It can be exactly like the 2014 Mac Mini that we have now with slightly
Yep.
faster processors, where you have built-in 16 to 32 gigs of RAM, and you have built-in a 1 to 2 terabyte SSD hard drive. Not fusion drives are we're never going to see fusion drives again. They're going away, I think. Where you've got the basic connectivity that somebody who just wants a desktop computer requires in a small Mac Mini. But then you've got the pro level user that wants to have dual graphics cards, and he wants to have 128 gigs of RAM, and he wants to have 10 terabytes of available digital storage, and I mean all the
Right,
stuff that they want. But
but
it
slow
doesn't
down.
have to be in this little box.
Well, some of it does and some of it doesn't. Yeah, so you got to differentiate there. In the box, as it is right now, the way the computer is going to work, it has a bus, right?
Mhm.
It has a bus inside on the motherboard.
Right.
That bus needs pretty much on there. You need the processor and the memory
Mhm.
at this point. And that's always going to be inside.
And basic graphics.
And basic. No, I mean technically
you
no.
could just do Intel graphics with it. I mean, it doesn't.
You
matter.
could put a basic card in there, but I'm saying the things that have to be inside,
Yeah.
as of right now, are the only things are processor and memory. You could get an external video card. You could get a Thunderbolt video card, and use that too. You don't need a video card, so those things won't change, right?
Right.
You can add external Thunderbolt 3 storage. You could boot off that. I don't know if it will never, well, I don't want to say never, but it's going to be as fast as an internal SSD as of right now, because Apple keeps making them faster and faster in their laptops. You could have an external GPU.
Mhm.
You could have external hard storage, GPU, and monitors at that point. What else? I mean, so that's the diagram of what has to be inside and outside.
Right.
Now you got two people. You got somebody who just wants like a basic Mac Mini, and you got somebody who wants to build a professional system. So now you got to, have Mac Minis with processor options ranging from home user to pro.
Sure. So you've got you've got on the consumer side, you have say an i9, and it's got anywhere from 4 to 9 processors, which I think is what the i9 has right now. And then on the other side of it, you could have 12 and 24 core Xeons and fit that within a Mac Mini, maybe. Depends on how big those are.
And they're not going to, I mean, again, and then you got heat issues. And then,
Sure.
so you got a lot of, you're going to, my feelings, you're going to need to have two models, one for a home user that's
Sure.
going to be more like a Mac Mini, and maybe one they'll call Mac Mini Max, and it will be a bigger version of that.
No, the Max Mini Max R.
The mini mouse Max
X 12
Mortimer 12. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, it's gonna. Long story short, it's gonna have to be a bigger box. It's gonna have to hold processors and heat and be more configurable. But yes, you could start plugging crap into it and make it do more.
Make it do more stuff.
But then, are they going to give up? So they're not going to have an iMac anymore. They're going to give up their beautiful.
Oh no! There would still be, I guess. Yeah.
You said this would be the only.
Yeah,
desktop.
I know. I'm gonna jump back from that. Okay. The iMac is still a very, very popular machine. I guess. Well, it's popular mostly because if you want a Mac, there's not really that many up-to-date options. Right now, you've got a 2014 Mac Mini with what, an M5 processor in it, like a 1.4 gigahertz, ridiculous, slow.
I mean, you could configure it up to an i7, I think.
Okay, but they're all dual core. They're all dual core.
Still an Apple site.
Yeah, they're all going to be dual core, guaranteed.
Yeah, but everything. Yeah.
But on the iMac side, if you want to go 4 cores or more, you got to go with the iMac on a desktop right now. Unless you're really, really stupid and buy a 2013 Mac Pro, which I'm guessing is still available for purchase.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So Mac Mini,
don't do that. Nobody go out.
You could get a core. The highest one is a 2.8 dual core i5.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you could change that.
Not to a quad. You can't get a quad core in a Mac Mini.
You could get a 3.0 dual core core i7.
Right. And what does that run? How much extra is that?
$200 extra for that.
Yeah.
So
you're looking at $1,200 to $1,500 to basically have a less capable iMac without a screen.
So I configured this iMac.
Okay.
I configured this iMac to the same as my 2017 MacBook Pro.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to $1,999 for the
yeah.
Mac Mini. But I mean, it's still not bad. It's a 3.0 dual core i7, 16 gig RAM, and a 1 terabyte ID.
Nobody should do that.
Flash. No.
When you get down to it, nobody should do that.
Well, I might hit the add to bag button right now. I want this.
Yeah, I have two Mac Minis right here. I was going to use one.
I sold you one.
I know. I was going to use one of them to hook up to Zeno. Do you remember when we were trying to use that for live calls and stuff? Yeah, that worked out really well. How'd that work out, guy? Not so great. All right.
You get what you pay for.
Yeah.
So you can still buy a Mac Pro. Yeah, they're still out there.
Of course they are. Nobody's buying them. Or very few people, I would say, are probably buying them.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if we can move on to something else here.
Okay.
That's not it. There we go. Apple, not yet. Apple, we're going to talk about the new stuff when we come out of the break.
No.
Apple has 79% of the mobile market when it comes to business transactions. Now, Apple doesn't dominate with desktop computers in the home or business, and certainly has a relatively small amount of devices in comparison to Android in the overall market. However, in one important market, Apple is absolutely crushing the competition when it comes to business, with mobile devices at 79%, with 60% of that coming from the iPhone. In fact, of the top 10 devices used in business, Apple products are listed in the first 5. So this is kind of a reverse of what happened in the 80s and 90s with Windows, where Apple had a vastly superior product, at least at first, but everybody was jumping to Windows. And the weird thing is, Apple still has a vastly superior product in my mind, and it's still more expensive, which was one of the reasons why Windows became so popular, because it wasn't expensive. And yet they're still dominating in business. Now, why do
In
you
the
think that
mobile,
is in mobile?
because it's because the BYOB, the BYODs is the reason.
Where they're bringing their own stuff in.
Yeah, because every business has bring your own device in, and if Apple is the most popular mobile device, that's what they're going to be
But
activating.
see, it's not the most popular mobile device.
Yeah, well,
Android has 80 to 85% of the market. Apple, the iPhone, 15%, 15 to 20 at best, depending on what country it is that you're looking at. But they're
that's what I'm trying to
killing.
find
They're
out.
killing
Hold on.
in the business field.
But I'm trying to find out if that's in the U.S. or everywhere.
Well,
Because
regardless, even here in the U.S., Apple is still in at the if you lump together all of the Android devices from every single manufacturer, it doesn't matter, and every single version of the Android OS that's out there, you lump all of those together on one side, and you lump Apple and iOS and all the different versions of the iPhone and all the different versions of iOS onto the other side. There's still going to be way fewer iPhones than there are Android devices. So for whatever reason, it seems like people who are, and you hate to make
with money.
generalizations, people who are generally successful in business,
That's where I'm going with this.
yeah,
I'm thinking,
are buying Apple products, and those are the ones that they want to use in for their own business use.
right. So I think there's a perception of security on the Apple devices compared to Android. So basically, with
Well, it's
mobile
not a
devices,
perception; it's reality.
right? But right now, we're just talking Android
Okay,
and Apple
all
in a
right.
mobile device. So you got the security, and I think more people that are in the work world probably have iPhones compared to people like kids or people like maybe older people who don't care. People, that aren't working may not have the iPhones. But when at I worked for J&J for a little bit, Johnson Johnson, and we were provisioning phones. They were mostly bring your own device iPhones. I don't know why, but people who were working there just had iPhones. Even though we did both, well, you could bring any device you want. There's, there's the profile is easy to deliver for business. I don't know how easy it is on Android, but basically on an iPhone, you could, as a business, when you bring your own device, you download a profile, goes in your phone, and it restricts you from things. So like when
While you're on their network.
not even that, not even when you're on the network,
Oh, really?
everything. Oh yeah, the profile controls your phone. Same.
Okay.
So like when I had the profile on, I couldn't run betas. It wouldn't let me. You couldn't do it. There's places that you cannot go. So when you agree to bring the device, it's a lockdown on there, and that's easy to do from a tech standpoint. So businesses are like, yeah, fine, yeah, it's easy.
Well,
Just do it.
do you think it's easier since generally people on iPhones are on later versions of iOS as compared to the hodgepodge of what somebody or a group of people may have with Android devices?
It's more universal, even on older versions of iPhone or iOS devices.
Right.
The setting was the same for everyone. I mean, the settings have not moved that much. But believe me, when I was working there and you brought in an Android phone, I'll look at like one of my coworkers taking that thing, like scratching his head, like, because it's something from like 3 years ago from like Octal, and they're like, Where's the mail setting
Is
thing?
is is there like a crank on the back of this so that you can start it?
Yeah, it's called crank it in the mail. So yeah, so I think it's just an easier thing, and I think just uh, uh, more people in the business world have iPhones, and it's a good time. I mean, hey, BlackBerry had its chance, but
And they blew it. All right,
they blew it.
we're going to take a little break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about
New
all the
stuff.
all the new stuff. That's what Warren's been waiting for, and I keep sidetracking him with all of this other stuff. So everybody stand by, stealing it from a different podcast that I won't name here until later on. Oh. And we'll be right back. Are you a new Mac user or an old hand? Wish you could know the ins and outs, keyboard shortcuts, or hidden tips and tricks to make you more efficient using your favorite computer? Hey, it's your lucky day, because Edward Eisen has written a great guide to knowing more about the Mac and the OS that it runs on. It's called This is the Light Side, and it's available through Apple's iBookstore or with Amazon. Better yet, it's not a stuffy old book that gathers dust on the shelf once the next operating system is released, because it's an ebook that you can look at any time you want. It won't get outdated because it's continuously being updated. Information on setting up your new Mac, installing and getting rid of applications, security settings and what to look out for, keyboard shortcuts, some basic app recommendations, how to use Windows on your Mac, if you really want to, that is, advanced topics, searching, using iCloud, and much more. All this for a mere 99 cents. Go to the iBookstore or Amazon and check out Edward Eisen's This is the Light Side. It's the book you want on your virtual shelf. All right, we are back. So as I promised, let me change this.
New stuff.
New stuff announced. This was this was a story I got from thestreet.com.
Oh, like where you could not find it anywhere.
Like anywhere else. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
you had to go to thestreet.com to find this story. Apple.
Yeah, because nobody else was talking about it, man. That was it.
What are you even talking about new stuff?
I don't know. Why are we still doing this show? You know?
No idea.
Yeah, neither does anybody else. So let's talk first about the iPhone event. There were 3 new iPhones that were announced. The iPhone XS, there were 2 models of that, a 5.8 inch slab of goodness, and a whopping, oh my God, 6.5 inches. How big was the Mac Mini? How big was the iPod Mini? Wasn't that 6.5 inches?
8-inch.
Was it 8 inches? Was it really that big? I thought
7.9.
Okay, so
exact.
So it was still much bigger than this thing, but this is actually
but not by much. It's getting there. Yeah. It's like an inch and a half.
Now, both are OLED screens that support Dolby Vision, which is a marketing term, and they have built-in stereo sound. So they actually have speakers on both sides of the phone. Surgical grade can't even speak. Surgical grade stainless steel in a better dual lens 12 megapixel camera.
All good stuff.
Yeah. They've also rolled out a new Apple design ARM chip, the A12 Bionic with 6 cores. Tim Cook, a man barely alive. We can rebuild him.
We can rebuild his phone.
We can make his phone better. Now, the thing about the Bionic and its 6 cores, you typically only use 2 of them. There are 2 main cores that are used like all the time. And if you start doing something that, starts to tax those 2 cores, the other 4 cores will come in. And of course, the reason why they do this is to save on battery life.
Throttle
sorry?
gate.
Yeah.
Throttle gate part 2.
It also has a 4-core GPU, which is 15% faster than its predecessor.
That's the big one. That's what people are saying. That's the killer. This the chip, the processor isn't a big jump. The GPU is a big jump. Is what people are. That's the word on the streets.
The streets.
The streets.
What's the word on the street, Johnny?
The word on the street is that GPU is good. It's a good GPU. I don't know what that means. You can play Pac-Man on your iPhone now.
Hooray! Waka waka waka. 3 storage sizes: 64 gigs, 256 gig, and 512. Now you said you're getting the max.
Yeah, I decided that's what I'm doing.
And are you getting the 512 gig?
No, I have a 256 gig X here that I like. But you know, if I don't spend it on my money on a phone, I'll spend it on
something else, something bad, something awful.
So I'm gonna get the 256 gig max is what I'm gonna get.
John Creasler wants to know if it'll have a plutonium battery. That's in the 11. That's coming up for the 11.
That's a S. That's not an S.
That's an SP.
Yes,
the 10 SP. The P is for plutonium.
So I did not pre-order it because I'm going to either trade it in at the Apple Store or sell it before that. I think we'll be all right. I think there'll be stock. Right now, even now, if you order online, if you go to Apple, it says you could get it the first week of October, which is not next week, but the week after. So, yeah. I mean, in the previous launch of the X, it was months. Now we're talking 1 week difference. So I think we'll be pretty good if we go into an Apple store or a Best Buy or something.
You just pick it up there.
Just pick it up.
All right. The prices for
Jeff.
Go ahead.
We both have to change. It's 10.
I've been saying 10. I have been saying 10.
Okay,
I had a problem with. I had Carl Madden on last week for the My Mac podcast, and we were talking about, and I kept saying X, and he kept getting very upset with me.
I did the same thing, and actually XS sounds terrible.
It does. That's a marketing nightmare.
That's bad news. So it's 10X.
Yeah.
So I'm getting the 10X Max is what I'm doing.
So the 10S. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. So exciting. The 10S starts at $999, and the 10S Max starts at $1,099, and that's for the 64 gig models, I'm sure. And you can easily spend practically $1,500 on a 10S Max with 512 gigs of storage. But to me, the real exciting one, honestly, was the 10R, 6.1 inch. I have 6.1 inch LCD display that Apple is calling Liquid Retina.
Liquid Retina.
Yeah, it's got groovy colors, including Project Red, like blue, black, white, orange, and yellow, which is not the actual names of those colors that Apple is using.
No,
but those are the colors. Okay, I don't care if it's groovy blue and midnight black and coral white and Halloween orange and whatever, all the rest. I don't care. All right. It's red.
Johnny Ive white.
Exactly. It's red, freaking blue, freaking black, freaking white, freaking orange, freaking yellow. That's what it is.
Yes.
Yeah. Now this has the same chip. It's got the A12 Bionic.
Yes.
The same camera, except it's a single lens instead of a dual lens. It starts at $749.
Yes.
And will come in more human-sized storage limits as 64, 128, and 256. Now, I'm still on the 8 Plus, and I'm not planning on updating it this year, unless something changes my mind about that. But so far, nothing. I don't think anything will. Next year, if I had, like right now, if I had to choose between the 10S and the 10R, I think I would be very tempted just for the price difference with the 10R. I mean, I'm sure that the OLED display that is with the 10S is just a thing of beauty and can't be, even compared to something like liquid retina. What the hell's that? But the fact that it starts $250 under what the 10S's are, and has all the storage that I would need, and still has a great phone. Damn, you can shoot 4K with the 10S. You can actually shoot at 60 frames a second 4K video.
Yeah, it's
But
a nice toy phone. If you want to get a toy Fisher Price phone, that's fine. If
but
that's what you want to do.
the 10,
I'm gonna get a real phone.
the 10R, the 10R will also
that's
do
a
4K video,
thing. Yeah.
4K video, 30 frames a second, 4K video.
The blue one looks like it belongs at Toys R Us when it was open.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
KB, is KB still around? No,
That's right. You can't be a Toys R Us kid anymore.
No. Yeah, I mean, it looks okay. I mean, something just came out today saying that they think the 10S and Max have 4 gig of RAM, while the 10R has 3. But I'll tell you, the OLED screen is good.
Okay.
I mean, it makes a difference. I would have to look at a non-OLED screen for a little bit to see how.
Here's a non-OLED
Oh yeah,
screen.
that's crystal clear.
Oh, it just disappeared. Damn you.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, it's an iPhone 8.
Yeah, all right.
So,
yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'm happy that the 10Rs are going to be out, because that will divert some people away from my beloved 10S Max. So I'll be able to pick one up when I want to go to the store, and I'll have to wait another few weeks.
Well, and not to mention that the 7 Plus, and the 8 models are still going to be sold. I don't know if the 8 Plus is still going to be sold, but the 7 Plus, and 8 models will still be available.
I thought they were getting rid of
as new.
The 7s, I thought they were getting rid of the 7s.
You'll still be able to get the 7s brand new.
Okay. What they stopped is the
5.
SE.
Yeah, the SE, at least in its current version, is no more.
It's no more, and the X or the 2 are actually not selling anymore.
Yeah, the original iPhone 10 is now gone.
Yeah, and everybody made a big deal, but actually they stopped selling because it would cannibalize sales of the 10X.
Honestly, I don't think Apple cares about cannibalization of sales as long as it's an Apple sale. One of the things that I was reading, and I couldn't believe that somebody actually said this, was that how many women were going to be upset that the SE was no longer going to be sold because their hands were so small. And it's like, wow, really? In this day and age, you're going to put out a story, and I'm guessing it was someone who is not a fan of Apple and will go to, nope, see, you're still there. Will go to any great lengths to come up with some kind of negative narrative concerning Apple, that they would put their name on a story, and I couldn't even tell you who it was, that said that women were upset because they can't pick up larger phones. It's like, oh my God, you have got to be kidding me. Anyway, there was also a new watch. Now I have the Series 3, which I'm very happy with. I have no intention of getting the Series 4 yet. There is some cool stuff. Oh, we need to set up walkie-talkie to see if that works. Whoop, lost your sound. I can't hear you. La la. Did you do something to your sound? Well, you're still oh, I think you did something bad. Tell you what, why don't you go back, check your connections, because I need you for this bit. Yep, I hear you. I did hear you. Hello?
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, you're back.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
So the watch. Now
Yes.
you're also on a Series 3.
Yes, but I ordered the Series 4.
You
So
did order the Series 4. Okay.
I
What
did.
was it about the Series 4?
Just new. It's new.
It's new. Okay.
So yeah, all right. The Series 4, the shape, I think it's going to be cooler. It's going to be a little bit bigger and flatter.
Mm-hmm.
The EKG or the ECG doesn't do anything for me. I don't care about that. So I just want more screen, I think. And so right now I kind of got the stainless steel version of the Series 3, which was the kind of the pricey one with the
Yeah,
nice.
I'm not sure what mine is.
Yeah, so there's an aluminum and stainless steel, and I got the stainless steel one, and
I got mine through nefarious means, but I won't go into that.
Yeah, do you still have the wrist that it was attached to?
No. I hadn't had a good barbecue in a long time, so.
Okay, somebody just you cut off the wrist. You got to make sure you cut it off right here for the most meat.
Right.
So I have the more expensive
Cannibalism
version of this. Yes.
Yeah, we went there.
Yes, we did. Anyhow, I don't. This is. I've always said the stainless steel expensive one. I am going to the aluminum one.
4 or 4.4 inch.
44. It's
Okay.
44
mil. Sorry.
Yeah.
So my God, a 4.4 inch watch. I just thought about that. It's like, oh no.
It's like that, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have the bigger phone and the bigger watch. I'm gonna look like.
You know what? I bet there is some kind of wrist thing that you can buy that you could put a phone on. I bet there is.
But I'm gonna look like Sia with her hair. I'm gonna have you're not gonna see me. You're just gonna see devices, and then my mouth.
You turn it on, and there's just like this blinding flash. It's like, is
that
Warren? Oh God, I can't tell.
Yeah, that was a big when the 12.9 inch iPad first came out. I went to the Apple store the day it came out, and I just walked around the Apple store with the 12.9 inch iPad to my ear. Hello, this is a great iPhone. I love it.
Can you hear me, Doris? Can you hear me? All right. So
I'm gonna get it. I will let you know. Now the problem I have, and this is a really big problem, is I am going to Las Vegas Friday morning.
Okay.
Early in the morning with my wife until Tuesday.
So you won't be there when it comes?
I'm not here. So
well, did you order it, or are you just going to buy it in the store like you're going to do with the phone?
I ordered the watch. I could pick it up Friday at Best Buy. They still have a few. So
but you'll be in Vegas at the time.
No, unless Best Buy opens at 7 a.m. in the morning, I could make it. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, then just get it when you get back, dude. What difference? It doesn't make that much of a difference. You don't have to have it first day.
I'm going to be in Vegas.
Vegas, baby. Well, think about other things. I mean, of all the places to be where there was lots of distractions, Vegas.
It's going to be sad. My wife obviously doesn't know I'm getting a new watch either. She has no idea. So she's going to be like, "Why are you sad?" I'm like, "I can't tell you."
Are you telling me your wife does not watch this show?
I hope she doesn't watch this show.
I know my wife does not watch this show.
Because I am using the same laptop, phone, and watch I've been using for 10 years, according to her.
Because
they look the same. Yeah,
exactly. And Jeff is hold on. I gotta look at this. Oh my God. Oh, all right. Hold on a second here. I am gonna put.
What is it? A big armband for your phone?
Yeah, I'm gonna put something here.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, that's gonna be my new Apple Watch.
Oh, this is all right. I'm gonna put in.
Yeah,
I got to turn it off first. Hold on a second.
It'll hold the 8+. Yeah, I got to read the reviews on this one. Hold on.
Oh, this is just too funny.
The first review is when a smartwatch screen is too small. That's yeah. Works for bigger phone. He has an only funny one. When the
All right,
smartwatch screen is so small. Yeah, there you go.
there's the there's the URL. You can go to Amazon right now and pick up the VUP wristband phone holder for the iPhone 10, iPhone
It's right
8,
here.
8 Plus, 7, 7,
Giant
all
iPhone
these different
combo.
phones. Great for hiking, biking, walking, and running. And you can tell people that you have the latest Apple Watch.
You have the Tim Cook comes out. Tim Cook comes out with that thing on there. It's like we have created. Wait,
A thing of beauty.
we have
No,
created.
that would be
The,
Ives would
that's
say
ours.
so. Yeah.
We have created the largest screen possible for the Apple Watch. It is a beautiful OLED screen.
You know
It's
what?
amazing.
I'm gonna
You
put
can
this.
see everything on here. You
I'm
can,
gonna add this to my Amazon cart. I may actually get this.
yeah.
It's only like $16, 15,
Yeah.
$16.
I've seen armbands, but I haven't seen that. That's
Yeah,
yeah.
that's like
Uh,
ludicrous. I don't even know if it would fit if the band, not so much the phone, but if the band would even fit my wrist.
yeah, I
Oh,
think
that
it's
is so
a,
funny. Who sent that? Jeff sent that. Thank you, Jeff.
yeah, that's good.
Oh, actually, Ed is showing one too. Which is the one that
No,
Ed
his is
sent?
just a video of large iPhones. You
Oh,
want to watch it
okay.
later.
All right, you
Yeah,
can't watch that right now.
large iPhone.
That is so funny.
You
Okay,
know what they say about guys with large iPhones?
yeah, they've got really wide wrists or
They could
something
read more
along
on the
those lines.
screen.
All right, we're running out of time. Let's talk about the iOS event. Now, were
Okay.
you surprised that there were no Macs that were announced during this iOS event?
I
Were you stunned?
was.
I was stunned.
I don't know. I thought they would mention something maybe about it. Um, but I was more stunned that there wasn't iPads discussed
Well,
rather than
didn't they just update the iPads? That was what, a couple months ago.
the pros. The pros are rumored to come out. The new pro.
Okay, well that'll probably be. I'm guessing. Well, I don't know. They need to do something
October.
with Macs first.
No, it's going to be the same. We know.
But
In October,
there
it's
were a
going to be the
number of things
pros and
announced.
yes.
We had iOS 12, and what's your favorite feature of iOS 12?
Um,
I've
the
got two.
speed.
Speed is good.
Speed. The
I
speed is
like.
definitely the big thing. It's much faster. I put it on my son's 7. It's faster. I've been on it since the first beta, so I'm kind of
Okay.
used to it.
Well, are you
Uh,
aware that
I am.
on the lock screen where you can access, flashlights and stuff like that, there is actually you can now access your Apple TV from that screen. There's
You
like
can.
yeah. So, and this is now I've got two Apple TVs here in the house. I've got a 3 and a 4. It only works with the 4s and up.
Right.
I was downstairs trying to connect this to the 3 and it wasn't working. I didn't realize that what was actually happening was I was connecting to the one upstairs. My wife was watching TV, and as I'm sitting there pushing buttons on the phone, going, "Why?
Stop.
Why is this doing this? Why is this doing that?" And my wife suddenly comes to the steps, and she's like, "Something's up with the Apple TV. It's doing all this weird stuff." And I started
It's
laughing.
possessed.
I started laughing. I was like, "Okay, I know what happened. Never mind." So it won't work with the Apple 3s and down. The other feature that I kind of like, and I haven't had a chance to play with it much, was the walkie-talkie. I think that's kind of cool.
That's on the watch.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
so you switch from iOS to WatchOS.
Yes, I did.
You did. Which I actually thought about this yesterday. I'm like, why wouldn't they also put the walkie-talkie feature
On the phone.
the phone?
Yeah.
For people who don't, I mean, they could do it. I'm sure they could do it.
But
Yeah.
do you know where that feature will come in more handy as far as the watch goes? is
Yelling at my son,
well,
telling him to come
if you
upstairs.
have one that has cellular capability, because otherwise, if you just have you have a regular Apple Watch and you don't have the phone in your pocket, depending on if you're away from the house, you won't be able to use the walkie-talkie feature because you won't have access to a cell network. Whereas if you have the phone with you, then why wouldn't you just pull out the phone and use that to contact somebody? So if you have a watch that has a cellular capability, I imagine that's going to be much more useful than if you
But
don't.
you could, not really, because you could just call them too with your watch
What? Call people? You mean actually like talk to them?
or text them. Well, I mean, so a walkie-talkie is not actually talking.
No, I know.
It's a walkie-taxi.
So other than speed, what was it that you liked about iOS 12?
I've been using it for a while. What do I like about iOS 12? The group notifications are cool.
Mhm.
Very cool. That's a fun thing. That's it. There's
Okay. Have you tried
purposely
CarPlay
not
with it yet?
just yeah. I mean, there's purposely not a lot of new things. There's a group notifications,
Mhm.
a few new things on the control center, but purposely it's a speed improvement, and there's not that many other features on here, to be honest with you.
I know I have CarPlay in my new old car, and I put a couple of
Oh, yeah.
apps
That's
on
gonna be
it
good for you.
recently.
Yeah.
Not so much. I'm not talking about Waze and Google Maps and all the rest of it. I'm just talking about like the CBS radio app, Spotify, and other things like that. And the weird thing was Spotify and a few others, when you bring them up on screen, you get like this drop down thing of some of the different options that you can use in that application. But now that I'm on iOS 12, other than Apple's built-in apps, none of that stuff is working. So I'm guessing that the people that make those apps need to update them to work with iOS 12. But really, the thing I'm looking forward to the most as far as CarPlay goes is Waze and Google Maps integration. I'm really
So I
looking
think
forward to using Waze again.
the Google Maps came out, I think, yesterday. If you do an update, I think it's going to work.
Really? I didn't see any notification of that.
I read something, but maybe it's because of the beta. I could be wrong. They released a beta for it.
Okay, well, see, I don't do betas on this phone.
No, I know, but I think it's not. I think it's not because of the beta. Hold on.
Oh, he's also John Kreisler is talking about how Siri can snap a photo for you, which is cool. What somebody at work said was like, tell Siri to turn on your flashlight. So I said, hey, digital assistant, turn on my flashlight, and it did, and then it would turn it off too. So it was like, okay, well, that's a thing. So yeah, cool. So Siri is a little more usable.
I think you could do the Google Maps now. I'm reading it. Try it out.
Well,
the series
I can't right now.
Well, yeah, go in your car, guy.
All right, I'll be right back.
Siri shortcuts. Did you play with that?
I have not. I have not played with that yet.
It's all right.
But I can't really do that while I'm doing this. Not easily.
So there's something called shortcuts, and basically what it
that was an app that they bought called Workflow, and they've integrated that. Yeah.
Right. So, but you could tell, So I created a shortcut for Siri called Let's Jam, which shuffles my music.
Okay.
Which is really stupid because I could just say, "Hey, whatever, shuffle my music."
Right.
But now I could say Let's Jam.
Now you don't have to do that. It'll do it for you.
I could say whatever. I could say, "Hey Siri, play the stuff that guy hates," and I'll play something.
No, yeah, I'm sure you have a huge playlist.
It started.
I like that song. That's not a song
I know,
guy
but
hates.
I didn't even tell it to start. Hey Siri, I wasn't talking to you. Off.
Unfortunately, I am as yet imperfect.
What did she just say?
Warren, I am as yet imperfect. So so I'm talking to my HomePod, and my watch responded and said, "I am not perfect."
Okay.
Hey Siri, stop. There we go.
There we go.
Alexa, tell Siri to shut up.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, you see, you're not going to get digital assistants to fight like that. They're the companies that make them, yes, but not themselves.
I'm gonna keep trying.
All right.
It's gonna be like Robot Wars. All right.
Well, there was also tvOS 12 came out. And
nobody cares about that.
Yeah, really, there was a couple of nice things, but nothing to get super excited about unless you're a developer. And of course, the watchOS. So those were the three big things. You had iOS, watchOS, tvOS.
Yeah.
And I think we're like at an hour, so I think we are going to wrap this up for the evening. I'd like to thank everybody who has joined in this evening. And I have to say, Warren, this is probably like the least drama-filled, as far as tech goes, show that we have done. I'm finally starting to get the hang of this.
When we finish the show, you're gonna have to curse at me. Curse at something.
You're just so used to hearing it.
Just curse at like the walls when we finish up.
Everything is broken. I hate everybody. So anyway. Warren, thank you so very much for coming on. Do you want to give any contact info, or is it just go to Facebook and find you there?
Yeah, join our group, the MacBook group. It's Mac to
the Future. Yeah, we have a really, really good time there, and we're mostly not assholes. Mostly.
Yeah. If
it happens every once in a while,
we have to gauge you up first. If you if you deserve it, we'll give it to you.
Yeah. If you'd like to send me an email, you can send me an email, guy@mttfgo.com or guy@mymac.com. I'm also on the Twitters as MacPettit. And we have a Skype telephone number that absolutely no one that watches this show has ever called. That number is 703-436-9501. That number again, 703-436. Oh, hold on a second. Bloop. Well, there's that. Bloop. 703-436-9501. You can call that number, leave a message, and I'll figure out some way to play it on the show. Where there's a will, there's a way. Yeah. If you would like to help support the crazy things that I do, you can go on over to patreon.com, where I am Mac Parrot. You can also find me if you just go and look for Guy Searle. And of course, if you'd like to do just a one-time donation, as Yvonne did. Thank you, Yvonne. I don't know if she's still on and watching, but thank you so very much, Yvonne. You can go to ko-fi.com, ko-fi.com/MacParent is a great way to find me there. And anything that you guys give will be funneled back in. Don't forget, I also do the mymac.com podcast every single weekend, almost every single weekend, with Mr. Gazmaz. We've been doing that for 8.5 years. Can you believe that? I actually had hair. When Gaz and I started doing the podcast, no, I didn't even have hair.
On the top of your head?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a lie, though. I didn't have hair even then. And of course, my relatively new venture, Guy's Daily Drive, that I do while driving. That's the whole hook for it. It's a podcast that I do while driving. And you can get that either over there on the YouTubes, or if you look in iTunes, I have an audio version of it there. So, but however you decide to consume whatever crazy content that I'm doing, thank you so very much. I really, really do appreciate it. And Warren, I think that is going to be it for this evening. So thank you so very much for coming on and having me and having patience. So
today
much
was
patience.
great. I'll next week I'll tell you how all my toys worked out.
Hooray!
If I lose all my money in Vegas, I won't.
Then you won't be able. Then you'll be selling your phone. You'll be back. You'll have like one of those Moto Razr flip phones.
I might have to do that. Yes. All right. Take care, everybody.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.